Question 12, Part A. Calculate 39% of £576. So when we're finding percentages on a calculator, all we have to do is divide that by 100 to turn it into a decimal. So here we are using multipliers. So we turn this here into a decimal. By dividing by 100. So this number divided by 100 would be 0.39. So I would say 0.39 times £576, and that would find 39% of £576. Calculator, 0.39 times 576. This has come up as a fraction on the calculator, so you just press the SD button to change it back into a decimal. So the final answer there would be £224.64. So this is a 2-mark question. Just in case you make a little mistake on the calculator, it's always a good idea to tell them what you've typed in on the calculator, because that would get you 1 mark. And then obviously 1 mark for your final answer. Part B. 3/7 of 100. Give your answer correct to the nearest whole number. So the 2 things to do here, first of all find the answer and then round. So 3/7 of 100, usually on non-calculator we would step 1 divide by the bottom, and step 2 times by the top. So you can do that on the calculator again. So this is the bottom number, so I would do 100 divided by 7. So 100 divided by 7 is 14.28571, and then that answer, and then times by 3. Times 3 equals 42 and then the nearest whole number, so that'd be 42.857142. So to the nearest whole number, the whole numbers are the bits before the decimal, so you put a line after that, and then if the number after it is 5 or above, then the number before needs to be rounded up. So instead of a 2, that will become a 3. So that will equal 43 to the nearest whole number. Now if you wanted to do it even quicker on a calculator, you can actually type it out like this. So instead of the word of, you'd write the times. So 3/7 times 100. So on a calculator you have the fraction button here. So I click that, and this is using a Casio calculator, and as you can see the fraction symbols come up at the top. So the cursor's in the top box, so I can type in my numerator, the top number of 3, use the cursor to go down to the bottom number, the denominator, and click 7. Click the arrow to come out of the fraction, so 3/7 times 100 equals, press the decimal button to take it back to a decimal, and again we've come up with exactly the same answer. So that was a bit quicker on a calculator to do it that way. If you have a school calculator, the logic calculators, then the fraction button's a little bit different. It's situated in about the same place, it's roughly around here, and it looks like this. So AB/C. So on that calculator you would type the top number first, 3, and then you type the fraction button, and then on the screen you'll see this symbol here. That's what will show up. So you type this button and you'll see this on the screen. That means you've then gone into the bottom of the fraction. So 3/7 times 100 equals on your calculator. So that might be an easier method using the calculator. How many quarters are there in 10? So how many quarters are there in one whole? So this is one whole split into quarters. So there's 4 in every one. Well, there's 10 of those. So that's basically timesing those quarters by 10. So the sum there you would do is 4, because there's 4 in every one, times by 10, because you've got 10 of them, would be 40 quarters for 1 mark. Part D, what fraction, so that's really important there, that's written in bold. If your answer is not in a fraction, you're not going to get the mark. So what fraction is equal to 50% of 1 over 6? So that's basically saying half of 1/6. So if we look at this diagram here, I split this up into 6s. So if I wanted to, this is 1/6, and if I wanted to half that 1/6, it would end up looking like that. That would be half of the 6. So because I've done that here, I need to half the rest of them. So that red section now is no longer 1/6, it's 1 out of how many? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So sometimes doing a little sketch can help you visualize it. The other way of knowing it is literally if you half the size of the fraction, it means the size is smaller, therefore you would have more of them. So all you have to do is times that 6 by 2. And then that would be 1 over 12. And that's 1 mark. Circle the fraction that is a recurring decimal. So a recurring decimal, just like this up here, has a little dot above the top. So which one of these is a recurring decimal? The fraction line basically means divide, so you can do this on your calculator really quickly. 21 divided by 35 equals. So that says 0.6, so that's not recurring. 1/6 done with. So that's not that one. 10 divided by 12, 0.83, and that 3 has the little recurring sign on there. So this one recurring, that's a recurring decimal. So it's only asking for one of them, it's 1 mark, so that's completed. In this question here, the examiner would give you 1 mark if they saw 42 and 1 mark if they saw this answer, meaning that you just hadn't rounded it